The empty streets, the songs of twilight, the clouds at rest, the church bells chiming, a scarecrow shudders, and songbirds tremble. I looked at you and saw its time. The faded flowers, the faded pictures of faded lives, your body waiting and unfulfilled, with no regrets, and empty heart and head in hands. I heard them say, today it's time. The sunset heavy on Mother Mountain, the cattle lowing, the cattle dreaming, the endless rain in haunted airs, your loss of hope, we were shown it's only time. The smell of rain, the twilight leaning against your lips, water wheels turning, the forests brooding. You took my hand and pointed full of pain at fishes dying. You saw the sign that this was time. I waited years for you, or so it seemed, and stumbled through your world, praying for just one kiss to stop my fall from grace and shelter in your palm. You gave me everything, both lock and key. The oil clouds, see, it's only time. If I could have one wish, as in the fairy tales, I would unmake my past and rise like Lazarus and stand in sunlight and banish all the dark that locked my face away, and say to you again, oh, that was only time. So willow weep not for me, and oak bend not for me, though others died for us and in our place, though in the secret heart, raw wound, raw source of all, I heard the news today, whispered in the dark. At last we know it's time. clicking your fingers for a Gothic twilight that actually existed just in your head. Your fingernails painted black or blood red, I forget. And your fake leather volumes jabbering on hell. Manifest decadence was what you hoped to exhale. Your eyes tried so hard to glitter, a star snuffing black. So you opened your books, and you opened your legs, and so opened your heart, and let in the badness you claimed as your friend. With unangels hovering like flies round the ordure that had covered your soul, their empire increasing, and your country deserted by yourself. The bells of St. Mary call us to remember that life is with end, and that gestures can kill us, moreover destroy. And there is one judgment only. Your letters came daily, in French or in German, but they meant to me nothing. I caught the slow chords and dry ice, fogging your mind. I see all too clearly now why you could be discarded. And though I could pray for you, I probably shan't, having had my cup filled up with your lies and your makeup. You were nothing, thinking you're something. And nonetheless, I still write this Gothic love song, a sign to myself, a memory of my past. I still write this Gothic love song, a sign to myself and a memory of my past, and a way to shut out your face. I saw the back of the stars tremble and fall, while seahorses played on the slope of your breast. I saw 100 angels rush to the ground. They were giving you garlands and giving you crowns. The flowers are everywhere, Christ glorious entwined. The dip of the moon and the sun as it shines, and the roots as they burrow and tunnel through earth, and the birds as they soar on their wings. I heard them whisper your name, and I remember you there. And the turtle doves hiding as your eyes roared with light, and I remember your smile, so wide and so red, whilst the snowflakes covered your hair with their seals. And I remember our bliss as we gazed at the wall, and I remember you there. And I remember you there with your mockingbird hair. Some years ago, we had sat down and wept, with the sea in our ears, and 7 cats on our laps, whilst the books gathered dust, unread and untrue. And you flick through the letters I could not bear to read. Little children snuggle under soft black stars, and if you look into their eyes, soft black stars, deliver them from the book and the letter and the word, and let them read the silence bathed in soft black stars. Let them trace the raindrops under soft black stars. Let them follow whispers and scare away the night. Let them kiss the feather breath of soft black stars, and let them ride their horses, licked by the wind and the snow, and tiptoe into twilight, where we all one day will go, caressed with tendrils and with no fear at all, their faces shining river gold, brushed with soft black stars, and angels' wings shall soothe their cares. And all the birds shall sing at dawn, blessed and wet with joy. You and I will meet one day, under a night sky lit by soft black stars. then you told me you felt the seas die, and then you showed me the flight of seagulls and whispered gently, the party's over. Then I knew it was time. You look so tired then, bereft of beauty. I knew that long ago your heart had stopped at all this beauty, at all the shadows, as if to say yes to life was pointless. And then I knew it was time. In a small park just down from Soho, you gestured wildly, but meaning nothing, and all the fountains shouted surrender, and all the trees bowed at my betrayal. And then I knew it was time. No words of substance, no words are better than when I held you, ragdoll defeated, so drained of bright light, so full of hatred, with your soul crumbling, bartered for flowers. I should have told you it's just time. And then we looked up, urbi et orbi. I saw the stars merge over St. Patrick's. You said, I'm finished. I am mist and fog light, and slipped so sweetly into your grave. If only it was only time. And now it's 8 years since I last saw you, and all the starlight is now as nothing. The letters all burnt, the kisses complete, and all the coupling long forgotten, and you long dead, damned or forgiven. It was no dream. AntiChrist and Barcodes in the air that we breathe, with a little black box eye high in the sky, in the water that trickles in our mouths, in the codes that flicker our lives, on and off, The staccato night starts to swallow and shiver and to freeze. The fish belly up, the unborn served up, obeying the planets. No incense is strong enough to make this life complete. Alpha and Omega, the great in the small. The butterflies flutter by, the foxes stop running. The moon, as sharp as a sickle and as bright as a pin, breathed its heavy sick breath as we fitfully slept and heavily dreamed, to awake back into endings and quietly wait for the trains to stop chugging and the clocks to implode. His name is under our skin, and so by the hair of my chinny chin chin, by hook or by crook, our necks are in the noose. I had gathered some flowers to lay upon your face, though you were not gone from the realm of the quick. I saw all the rain clouds being driven on forward by horses long numbered and featureless and free, and I wanted to call you a wife, though I couldn't stop glancing at the signs. And the foreheads of men, and all that they carried, and the full wombs of women, and all that they promised. And I wanted to write for you songs, poems, and Bibles, your face spotted with pearls and handcuffed to Christ. But I couldn't stop watching the signs. I had seen the news that the Trojan beast, already and not yet, no longer near, nor close at hand, nor at the door, is finally here. The great can stop watching the signs in the stars. As we stare beyond the windows there, over all the gardens that have never been and will never grow again. How long the shining, winking stars the clouds too high, so high, pointing to some final star. The dull face of the sky, the sound of the calling of the distant village bell. And all that. The sun is not enough for us any longer, and her smile, though she wears her hat and her cheery rays do not blanket with their glorious glare the burning body with distorted nimbus. I see too well just beyond my neighbor's house. It does not blank out the last sigh of the soul, whilst the night rejoices profound and still. At the edge of your street, both shadow and destroyer, but not, alas, the comforter. Caught when I was still a child by a terrible vision of my Christ, and caught in the throat by your signs and tears and goodbyes. I picked me up and walked too far with thought of no return, and not to see your face again, and drowning all my hopes and wishing no longer upon stars, believing no longer in moonlight or other dreams or other fields, upon all of which we so beautifully play. I saw the waste of all, and so I put away all talk of death's heads, and the little glimpses of blood-blossomed falls, and all talk of apocalypse. Apocryphon and Apollyon, Abaddon, all abandoned. Then I saw in myself the bowl and the gun and the glory that was to come. The car sweeps by with the murdered child. The car sweeps by with a violated girl. The car sweeps by with its trunk full of death. as I have not trusted, I have not hoped, in the bleak alleyways and the second-hand streets where misery waits at the turn of your hand. As I have not believed, so I have not seen the uselessness, the pettiness, hemmed in by the clouds, by the sun and the stars, by the walls and the rain. I shall not come to you for tea, as you may come back home with me, not believing and not seeing the facts yapping into our face. Alternate fire, alternate smoke, I shall not wake at 7 or 8, as all the hours are now too late, with the lead weights motionless. I spy with my little eye you and I, my love, you and I, with our backs to each other, chewing on shadows, dissecting the lights, that their brightness might be classified and then emasculated and finally killed.